What is going on, guys? So today we are going to be going over my hybrid Arcane Dex Faith build I've been using over the past few days. Been testing it slowly but surely and kind of figuring out what weapons I like. So really quickly here, let's go through the gear and all that. If you guys are just here for that, then you guys can go on your merry way. But I'm going to be showing some gameplay at the end of this video and showing the moveset and kind of how I think and my mindset using this build. But anyways, we got the Bloody Helice, we got the Bloody S-Stock, Dragon Communion plus 10. So, Bloody S-Stock with the Impaling Thrust Ash of War, and the Bloody Helice, we cannot do an Ash of War on it. For the gear, we have the Silver Tier Mask. This is best in slot for getting Arcane up by 8 points. At the detriment of doing a little bit less physical damage, I think it's like 5%, but we can counteract that with some of our buffs. We have the Radahn's Armor. You could do any kind of armor here you want. You know, I like this one, but if you want a little bit more poise, you can obviously go with Radahn's. We got the Malekith's Gauntlets and Melania's Greaves. Just again, any armor, just whatever you want it to be. A poise really doesn't make this build, you know, because, you know, I've run this build at freaking 25 poise, so you don't really need it. But for the talismans, we got Great Jar and Two Finger. We use this Two Finger to hot swap for our buffs. I'll kind of explain that a little bit later, but this is our basic talismans. We got the America's Sword Seal, Crimson Amber Medallion, and the Erdtree Favor plus 2. Now, these two are staples on most of my builds, and these two are kind of like flex spots. So the America's Sword Seal, it does increase our damage taken by 10%, I believe, which isn't really worth it if you're doing this build for invasions. However, we're doing this for duels, so I can really use these extra free stats, especially get a little bit more mind, and allowing us to get a little bit more arcane for damage. For my stats, this is unbuffed stats. We have 55 Vigor, 17 Mind, 15 Endurance, 16 Strength, 40 Dex, 14 Intelligence, 20 Faith, and 55 Arcane. For my basic stats, without the Silver Tier Mask and the Sword Seal, this is our basic stats. So we are a Vagabond on our starting build. You can optimize your stats, whatever you need it to be for whatever class you are, but try to hit your soft caps, and Arcane is what I recommend. At 55 points. That is the first, or that's the second soft cap at 55 points. And that's for both decks as well. So that is pretty much it for the gear and kind of the stats. Fully buffed, I think it's very important to show that real quickly. So let's go and swap over. This is what you're going to do before you start a fight. Hit your Flame Cleanse Me. I guess I need a little bit more mana with Golden Vow. And then hit your Physique Flash. This is Dex. Plus 10 and the Crimson Bubble tier for our Physique Flask. So here's our stats. 822 AR, fully buffed with 50 Dex, 55 Arcane. Yeah, so yeah, that's some crazy numbers. 822 AR is insane for this heavy thrusting sword. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, that is the gear and the stats in a nutshell. Yeah, so that's everything. That's the two spells I use. The Faith spells is the Flame Grant Me Strength for more physical attack power, and the Golden Vow for the extra attack and defense, which is insane. The Golden Vow is what really makes this build, I think, much better. So that is the build in a nutshell. Let me explain the moveset, only really the highlights, because I think actually seeing this build in action is better than actually just me telling you guys. The thing you're going to be using the most with this build alone is going to be the running attack to punish people from a distance. It's got a very good gap closer. The running R2 heavy is insane. Now, you don't want to roll catch with this because you're going to go blowing past them. You're going to go right by them. You want to roll catch with the R1 if you're going to roll catch short range. But if there are 2 roll dodges away from you, or if they roll dodge twice, then you can actually roll catch them from 2 roll dodges, which is absolutely insane. The offhand on the S-Stock allows us to kind of trade at close range very fast. If anybody has low poise, they're just going to get melted. But also the rolling, or the roll catching potential this thing has is insane. If they're like right here in front of you and you just stay on them and run, you can easily roll catch if they don't reactive roll. If they reactive roll, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But this is where the offhand S-Stock comes into play. And it's just my favorite. I love offhanding S-Stocks. You guys have been telling me to do it in stream, and I just really love it. Now, the other thing about the Bloody Helice especially is the weapon art. So this weapon art is very stylish. It has iframes, like similar to a Bloodhound step, and it's just overall a high skill ceiling type of weapon art that's not spammy like the Rivers of Blood, but actually makes you use your brain and makes you get a little bit better and learn the core fundamentals of the game. And that was what I was going for with this build. Is I wanted something that was strong, but wasn't something that was so overtuned that was carrying me, where I could actually learn the game and get better. So this weapon art, how you do that tricky little weird thing is you want to, sprint or just regularly walk, press your weapon art, and then pull back on the analog stick. Weapon art, pull back on the analog stick. Now, you can't do this every single time. But what you can do with this is you can do some weird, stylish stuff where you can run at somebody, pull back, and get behind them, and then, you can do your R2. So it's very nice. And if you pull right on the analog stick, you go left. So basically, wherever your butt is facing is where you're going to go. But unless you do the pulling back on the analog stick. And that's what kind of, it makes it look a little bit different and weird. But how you typically use it, and you don't want to lock on whenever you do this. Whenever you do this, don't lock on. You want to free aim this. And I'll show this in the gameplay as well. But that's pretty much it for the build, guys. This one doesn't have a lot of versatility because there's not a whole lot of arcane inherently scaling weapons. I will be going over my strength variation of this build that has a little bit more kind of wide variety. We use the Zwei, we use the heavy S or the heavy Epi, and we also use the heavy Knight Rider's Glaive. So that's my strength variation of this build. And I will be actually transferring my brain power for using the extra 5 points from this thing to be able to use both of these buffs. I think this makes the build like so much better. It's just having these two faith spells. I just didn't really like this faith spells at all. The damage ones, at least. I just prefer the buffs from them and then just going regular melee. So that's what I like, and it just works for me. So now let's get into some gameplay, and let me show you this build in action. Oh, that's a good backstab. Wish I wouldn't have. Good fight. Let's get rid of that shield. That's why I got these little daggers. My shield. Man, that's just good. I thought I swapped to that. I hate when I do that. Do that more than I should. I'll try it with that. Good fight, sir. Pull up and just use the golden vow. Like a dummy. Okay. There's you. Max, this guy's lagging all over the place. My goodness, sir. Bye. Hold on a second, sir. There we go. Alright, well, thank you. Dodge? That should have been a rock catch. And that's annoying. Rock catch? Yep. Nice. That's where a little bit of poise comes into play with that rock sling. That rock sling's annoying, don't get me wrong. But this build has a little bit of everything. It has arcane, it has a little bit of faith, so we can get some good buffs. And it's just got everything. I really like it. That's just such a cool weapon art. I love that thing so much, dude. That weapon art's sick. Overall, I'm really liking this build. It's very like I don't know how you describe it. It's very versatile. You know, it's got good roll catching potential. Back up there. Roll catch. Down on roll catch. There we go. That's why we like the S stock. So if you get on top of them like that, you can really pressure them by roll catching. So they have to reactive roll on the S stock, and that thing is almost impossible to reactive roll. It's very quick. So he's an arcane build with flies. You kind of just want to space these out. Gonna spam them. Yep, that's why we use this weapon. Oh. Interesting. I seriously roll dodge that. Oh my goodness, this guy's lagging. Dude, you're literally just spamming that over and over again. I know I need to stop doing that. I don't need to lock back on. There we go. Look at that. Look at that when we actually, you know, use our brain a little bit and actually aim. Just using a basic straight sword. That's all I was doing. And I see, look at that Bloodhound. You can outspace that thing entirely. Dodge. Okay, dodge. Flawless. Just, you can outspace a Bloodhound backstep. Alright. Dodge. Running attack. Dodge. Oh. Sound it back up a little bit. Dodge. All that should land. Interesting. There we go. Kill him with a dagger in the face. It's just all about that spacing, man. Like this one has the same moveset. Like the strength based weapon build, just didn't have the weapon art that the Helice has. Other than that, then the build is exactly the same, you know, with this variation. So all this does is capitalize on a little bit more bleed stuff. Okay, Stars of Ruin spam. I don't think I even buffed up with my potion. I didn't. Now you got no magic. Roll dodge? Oh, you're using the Bloodhound step. Yep. Dodge. Keep on thinking they're going to dodge, but they just Bloodhound step. I should have landed. This is why you don't rely on Bloodhound. Because you don't learn the game. You don't learn how to actually fight. It doesn't teach you anything. So that is pretty much it for the build and the gameplay section of this video. I hope you guys like this setup. It definitely took me a few days to make, and I've been fine-tuning it and adjusting it. But this is something I really, really like. Also, let me know of any other weapons or setups you guys want me to try. I'm looking at doing a whip build next. I've been hearing a lot of good things about those. So that's something I'm going to be looking at next. But if you guys are interested in a different build, I have a strength build here. And I also have some really good combat tips for beginners if you guys want to check that out. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.